Hello everybody, welcome back to Warframe. I wanted to talk about this game after my first 100 hours, just a quick live update because dude, this game is really cool and there's some special things, unique things about it. In terms of frames and my progress right now, it's pretty similar to last time you saw. I ended up maxing the Loki out, and I also am working towards getting my Slova build going for Nova. Nova is really powerful, but I'm keeping it classic with the good old Twitch Prime, Frost Prime. That was a really cool promotion that they did. I think that probably got a lot of people involved with Warframe. I'm going to be doing a defense mission on a planet that some of you may not have unlocked, so I don't want there to be any fear of spoilers. If you haven't finished the second dream quest and you don't want to know about any locations past that point, you can skip this video. Warning has been stated. So Warframe after 100 hours. This game is pretty cool. And it's cool in a unique way. What I have noticed after 100 hours is they don't hold your hand. Digital Extremes does not hold your hand throughout this entire experience. A lot of the information they leave up to the players to go pursue from guides, YouTubers, and wikis and stuff to go out and figure things out. Because later on, I mean, honestly, some of the nodes and the junctions, requirements for the junctions, you have to look stuff up. Otherwise, you're probably never going to be able to figure them out. This is a double-edged sword. I think in one way, it creates a huge sense of pride in the player base because they went out, pursued that knowledge, and it makes it feel like they figured it out for themselves. It doesn't really hold your hand in the way that, those really non-difficult games that just sort of guide you through the experience do. Warframe does not do that. However, that same factor definitely scares away a lot of new players. What keeps Warframe unique and what stands out the most to me the last 100 hours is the community. Normally, I found when you have games like that don't do a great job teaching you, a complex game that doesn't do an insane job teaching you, it can create a huge sense of elitism in the player base. Those who have achieved the knowledge, have gotten really far in the game, and that elitism can manifest in toxic ways. That's not present at all in Warframe. Prime example, last night I was doing what are called principal challenges, and these are like challenge rooms, basically, that there's 7 different challenge rooms. They're puzzles, jump puzzles, step on this, jump on that, shoot this. And some of them are, I wouldn't say tough, but they're not very straightforward, right? And so I hop into the recruiting chat and I say, yo, I need some help. I can't do this, looking for more principal challenge rooms. And within under a minute, I find 2 other people. One who's an inexperienced player like me when it comes to the challenges, and one who's a super veteran, like Mastery rank 20, and he just was like, yo, dude, I'll help you guys out. Let's do this. And he was unbelievably patient with us, man. He showed us the challenges, he walked us through them as we screwed them up over and over and over, like these jump puzzles, as we kept falling down. He never got impatient, he never got angry. He was just really kind. And you just don't see that normally in these types of games, in my opinion. Like StarCraft. StarCraft is a game I love, super duper love, but StarCraft 2 takes forever to learn. Most of the information you have to garner from outside of the game, from watching, from learning, and it really can create a sense of elitism where, I mean, sometimes you're willing to have a Masters player teach you the ropes, but Warframe stands alone in that regard. I also think, though, that it may be Warframe's worst enemy, at least in the first probably 50 hours. I flew through the first 80 hours of the game. I loved it. I played every single day, and I just could not get enough. It was such a sweet game, and I was beyond excited to play. Now, when I reached pretty much past the second dream quest, I really started slowing down because it became much less apparent to me, what should I do next? I don't know about you, but I'm definitely the type of player who really enjoys some level of direction. I don't want it to hold my hand, but I also would like to know what the grand scale picture looks like. What does the bigger story of Warframe appear? What does day-to-day look like? What am I working towards? What does endgame look like? And even though I'm 100 hours in, I feel like this journey has just begun. And that's pretty unique. Most of the time, after 100 hours, I feel like I've gotten a great idea of what the game's going to look like and be for the future, 100, 200, 300 hours. And although Warframe, you're doing similar activities, it always feels like you're growing as a player. Even after 100 hours, I still feel like I'm pretty, like, weak. I'm not a super powerful player, and there's so many carrots to go chase. There's so many frames and mods and things that I need to do. And that's pretty darn cool. I haven't even gotten to experience the Plains of Eidolon yet, other than a few introductory bounties. And I know that's really generally right now, I think, where a lot of the cool endgame content is. There's raiding to be done. There's a lot of depth to this game, and I'm quite impressed with Digital Extremes. So I'm very curious as to what you guys think about all this. Do you think the lack of direction and sort of freeform nature of Warframe creates a better sense of allegiance with the player base? Or do you think it could benefit from a little bit more new player-friendly accessibility stuff? I fall in the middle. I think the first 40 hours of the game could seriously benefit from a little bit more direction for the new player. Just a little bit more in the way of the Lotus sort of telling the player, we're going to go here next, and we're going to go do this, and hey, this is how mods work. That kind of a thing. But once you reach the later stages, I believe that the kind of vagueness of the game, the fact that you need to go out and sort of pursue guides to figure out the next step, creates maybe a tighter sense of community. Almost in the way that, like, old vanilla World of Warcraft, back before you had the dungeon finder and you had to use the chat to group up with people, really created a sense of community, and people want that back. I mean, a lot of the cry for the classic vanilla servers in World of Warcraft is trying to get that sense of community back, because the game wasn't so accessible. It required you to work with other players, and if you were a super jerk on your server, man, those servers were communities. You would get known as a jerk. So I think Warframe, again, could benefit from a little bit more direction. I would love to hear what you think about this, though. Shout out in the comments with how much you've played Warframe, what you think of the game, and what you think of this topic in general. Thanks again for watching, loving this game. If you've yet to try Warframe out, I cannot encourage you enough. 100 hours has definitely seemed like I'm still within the tutorial in a really good way. There's just a huge incentive to keep playing, progressing, and learning. So with all that said, thanks for watching, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.